Hi there, Leo. Welcome to your mid-April 2024 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. So let's see how this goes with my new tripod. I'm not using this exclusively, but I'm using it this time, that's for sure. Okay, we got two cards coming out here. This is just a quick update. And two cards too, okay. Alrighty then. I can even put these out here. I've got that. And I'm going to pick a Sacred Geometry Oracle card. Ooh. I'll put this up here. Okay, so the two cards that came out here. It's a little awkward for me because I'm not really right next to my camera. But anyway, the Justice card and then the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So there's an issue. I mean, there could be a literal judgment that you feel is unfair to you, that is not giving you what you had hoped for. But this can be something in your life that isn't like a legal matter. This can just be in the workplace, working too much, getting too little compensation. Pentacles, you know, the first go-to that I have is always with money, but it's about energy invested in what you get back. So energy exchange is what we call it. And is it fair? But same thing can apply to relationships. Some relationships are the one person doing 90% of the effort and the other person mailing it in or barely reciprocating. And again, this is not about money. This is just about energy, or seemingly to put interest and energy into something. So if you're in a relationship, Leos have big hearts, you're generous financially, maybe you're just with someone who is a taker and on all levels, you know, and you're realizing this. But what crosses you is the Eight of Cups, which means that you may find it hard to leave and walk away from it. Sometimes this is because you simply don't want to change the way your life is and you don't want any kind of major upheavals, but sometimes it can simply be because you don't see it as being a problem yet. And I think that is the bigger challenge for those people that are making excuses for the other person, is that they may be in denial of over what that person is actually capable of, and that can be problematic. There's no question about it. So so in this period of time, I'm trying to think. Let's see here. I think especially in May, there will be a full moon in your fifth house, the house that you rule in astrology, in the sign of Sagittarius, Leo. And that can be a time when you really get clear on if you're involved with someone. I'm not talking about necessarily a marriage situation. This can just be somebody that you're dating, because the fifth house, but it can just be love itself. Like, is that other person in love with you? You know, are they indicating that, or are you kind of in denial over the truth of it? I think that you're much more likely to find an answer during that period of time and maybe resolve whatever's going on here. I'm going to hold this up upright, but I got it in the reversed way. The Mother of Wands, I'm reading this in a reversed way. The Queen of Wands reversed. Well, if this is you, I was going to say a woman scorned, because the Queen of Wands upright, I always say, that's Leo. That's Leo. She's holding a sunflower. This is obviously a different deck, than the Rider Waite, or some of the decks that are like the Rider Waite. And I got like somebody who must have really identified with the Queen of Wands, because I said she was a drama queen sometimes, and somebody like just read me the riot act, and I was like, wow, you're really into the Queen of Wands. I can see that. But yeah, this is the in the reverse position, you get the ultimate diva, and that's that ego energy coming through of a woman who's overbearing, who's very maybe even vindictive because she's not getting what she wants. So don't be her. Whatever's going on, if you are in some kind of a divorce, and maybe that's what the Justice card is. I feel like this is more of an earlier stage relationship, but just in case that's what it means to you, you can take the higher ground at all times, Leo. You can be the bigger person. You're a magnanimous person when you're balanced. When you feel like you're insecure, when you feel disrespected, that's a big one with Leo, is respect. And when you feel like you're disrespected, it's like all hell can break loose. So also, this can be like, if this is something in the workplace, and maybe you have filed for arbitration, or you have gone above your supervisor, she might, if it's especially if it's a woman, but this queen energy is merely water energy, but it's water energy misdirected. So it can be, wands is fire, so it's like that negative fire. So that can be combative and manipulative and things like that, intimidating. So not allowing yourself to get sucked into that is the best thing. If you feel like there were some violations and that your boss is at the heart of it, then if she gets angry that you're going over her head, you can just instead of saying, well, there's a reason for that, oh, and read her the riot act, you can say, well, I'm sorry that you feel that way. I just want to get what I feel is, my compensation that I deserve. And you can just keep it very simple. You don't have to resort to personal attacks. And certainly you don't have to be like this person. If this is a mother-in-law who's a narcissist, I mean, I got this in another reading recently that I've done, and I haven't talked about this too often, but definitely when somebody's married, their in-laws can wreak havoc if their spouse has a narcissistic parent, and the mother seems to be the culprit a lot of the times because she's the one who tends to be the most possessive over the child, who is not a child, should we, mention. And that person is weak, where they won't stand up to this person, meaning that they will, sell you up the river to make that person happy, then you're in deep doo-doo with all of them. So this may just be indicative of that, that you're unleashing the wrath of the mother-in-law. And you're probably wishing you would have left a long time ago. The outcome, again, 2 cards. One of them is the Devil card. This card I love in this deck. This is the Wild Unknown Tarot deck, and it has the hooves on fire. I love that. It's so quirky. But this card is connected to Capricorn, and it's all about lust versus love. It's all about greed versus, doing things for the right reasons. Like for instance, if you're in arbitration at work and you feel like you put in a lot of effort and you're not getting fair compensation, that doesn't mean that you're greedy. But in some cases, the person is never going to be happy because they do have excessive needs in that direction, and it's not necessarily realistic for whatever it is that they're doing. So it's about being able to sort that out and really get clear in your head about what it is what your motivations are. But also in relationships, even like dissolving relationships, if, for instance, somebody is cheated on, and this card can indicate that negative energy that comes when you feel disrespected, and then they're like, okay, well, I'm going to take this person to the cleaners because they cheated on me. Well, is that right behavior? It might be understandable behavior, but is it really what you should be doing under the circumstances? And look at that. And then we have the Three of Cups, which is a card of celebration. It's a card of friendship. So, for instance, for those people who are leaving a relationship, maybe you neglected your friends, not maliciously, but just because you were so absorbed in this toxic relationship, and now you have time for your friends. And isn't that great that you'll be able to spend more time with the people that really matter to you and who really value you? So it can be a very lovely thing. And you're actually, the devil card I can see as a narcissist too. So even like the example I gave with the mother-in-law scenario, sometimes you may have a spouse who is a covert narcissist. They're always the victim, and they allow people to walk all over them, and that hurts you in your life in some way, because you can't, you have to be at the mercy of the people that are very problematic in their life. So I'm going to read this emergence card. It says, the frequency of emergence invites us to approach our reality with a childlike attitude of innocence and wonderment, and to watch and celebrate the beauty that unfolds from that place. So it's kind of like the springtime, in the northern hemisphere. That's what we're experiencing. I know if you're down under, you're like, I'm not even thinking about the spring. But yeah, it's that fresh energy. I think of like in the I think in the tarot about the Page of Cups, this innocence that we retain like a child, no matter what is going on around us. And even if something is ending in your life, you can appreciate what is beginning, what is emerging, and you don't have to just see your situation as a loss. Because even if you were to decide, you know what, I'm walking away from this job because I have the boss from hell and her ego is out of control, and I'm walking away from this job, and you decide to kind of defy your natural inclination and just walk away from it, you could find that you have opened up a whole new life for yourself in some way. Okay, Leo, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, I am primarily an astrologer, so I welcome you to check out those types of readings, but I do private tarot readings as well. Please click on the link below for more information, and thanks for watching. Bye.